Whoa.
Hey, you're back.
Back.
Let me guess, you have a gun you want to sell.
You're right.
Rob's a gun guy. He comes in the shop a lot, and he always has some sort of interesting firearm to sell. All right, what do we got this time?
What I've got is a Savage Navy, 36 caliber.
Okay. Savage Navy. That is one ugly gun.
No, that's not an ugly gun, Rick. That's a Navy gun, and it's pretty to me.
This is because it has something to do with the damn Navy.
That'll work.
I came to the pawn shop today to try to sell my Savage Navy revolver from the Civil War. It's extremely unusual design. I keep coming back here because, hey, they keep buying my guns. What am I to do?
Yeah, this is really cool. I've never actually seen one of these things in person. I've never even had one in the store. They started making these in like 1862, 1861, somewhere around there?
Yes, they're making them right at the height of the war.
As long as they could make it different, they could make it and sell it, and the government would buy it, because the government would buy any gun at this point.
Well, like any entrepreneur, if there's money to be made, they found a way to make it.
Yeah.
That's the gun that resulted.
So basically, cock it with your middle finger, and then fire it with your index finger.
The thought was that was a good mechanism because you could fire them a little quicker.
I really don't see the advantage. More of a pain in the ass than it's worth. I mean, it's heavy, it's awkward feeling, it just wants to tilt down. One of the goofiest designs.
That's why I love it.
These two fools don't know what they're talking about. Anything to do with the U.S. Navy is high class.
So I'm assuming you want to sell this like the rest of them?
That's what I'm looking to do, that's right.
I don't know how important this screw is right here. There's just too many questions I have about this thing. Let me call someone in, let them look at it, and get an idea what I can pay for it. Okay?
That's all right, you bet.
All right, I'll be right back.
You bet. I can understand him bringing in an expert. He doesn't know how much I know and how much of mine is just smoke, so he needs to bring someone in to make sure he knows what he's getting.
Greg, how's it going, man?
Greetings, pawn shop brokers. How are you today? Yeah, the guys call me down when they get an antique firearm that they want to know more about. They want me to evaluate its condition, a value estimation, that sort of thing. This is what I would call a proto-double action. It's one of the first double action revolvers, and the concept was that you could shoot a lot more quickly. In reality, not so much. The gun was very complex, so there was plenty of room for mechanical error and failure. Not very popular. They sold about 11,000 out of the 20,000 made to the government. The rest went to the civilian market. Why? Because the gun sucked. So this is civilian. It's definitely not a government-issued weapon. The interesting follow-on, though, is that the civilians often transported them south, and they became used by the Confederacy as well. And for that reason, it's a neat collectible. The Savage Navy is an interesting firearm because it's a technology that, while it led to the double-action revolver, the idea did not work very well.
It looks all there. I mean, there isn't any major damage to it besides the finish more or less being gone. There's a screw missing on the bottom.
Yep, you're right. I know what your next question is.
Yeah, how much is it worth?
Yeah. You know, the good news is it's not restored in any way, shape, or form. You know, usually when you get a gun that's in this type of condition, someone will have made an attempt to restore it. You know, it's going to be a civilian model, and that's going to be the primary driving force behind its price. Of course, condition being the other driving force. So
Okay.
I would say in its condition, as it sits, the gun's probably worth retail $1,800 to $2,000.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thank you. Take care. A bad idea means they don't make very many, and that's one of the ingredients for something being very collectible. If you've got a Civil War collection, you have to have one of these guns.
$800, Rick.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, I'm thinking more like $1,250, though. I really am.
You know, I was hoping to get about $1,800 for the gun. Okay,
Yeah, well,
I think
what
that's
we're
fair.
going to get out of it.
I think you'll do a little better. They're really hard to find.
I know they're a hard gun to find, but they sit around a long time. It's a weird gun, so
$1,650,
I'll go $1,300.
$1,575,
I'll go $1,300.
$1,550.
$1,300. I mean,
I can't do $1,300.
Sure you can.
No, I can't. 14 and a half. That's really the best I can do.
I'll go $1,350.
1,400 and I'll do that. And we'll shake hands and I'll walk away, and you know I'm going to come back with some more cool stuff.
Yeah, I'll do $1,400.
All right,
I'll do $1,400.
touchdown.
Okay.
You got to us again.
Now that I got $1,400, I'm just going to find another gun and do it all over again.
Hey, how's it going?
I've got a World War II combat art.
Hold on one second. I actually have this thingy over here. Here we go. Throw it on there. All right. And who painted it?
Benton Henderson Clark, dated 1943.
From the looks of the back of it, the age is round and right. That was like in the 1930s, they started using staples. They weren't galvanized yet. You can tell because they always rust. You know, like the first Playboy?
Sure.
There's a lot of fakes out there. The one way you always tell is the staples are always rusted.
I don't have too many old Playboys. So. I'm here at the pawn shop to sell my Benton Henderson Clark oil painting. It's a great piece with a lot of combat action. I'm selling the painting because my wife says it's time to downsize so we can enjoy our retirement.
Well, it's interesting. Where did you get this?
I got it from an Iowa picker about 40 years ago.
Okay, so it's Benton Henderson Clark, and I know he did mostly like cowboy art, stuff like that, but I've never seen him do World War II stuff. And he was one of those guys not really considered an artist, he was an illustrator.
Right.
I'm not beating down your stuff here, but
No.
it looks like it was painted quickly.
Well, it's his style.
Yeah. And it says Benton Clark, right?
Yeah, 1943.
And this is supposed to be Palermo, or?
I think it's the invasion of Sicily with the palm trees and just the uniforms they're wearing and the Sherman tank.
Okay. How much you want for it?
I'd like to get $5,000 for it. I've seen some comparable artwork that he's done, and it ranges from several thousand up, so.
I don't know how much Benton Clark goes for. I know a teeny bit about him, and that's usually a really dangerous thing when it comes to art. Do you mind if I have someone look at it? I have an art expert I work with, so let me call my buddy. He will know a lot more than I do.
Okay, great.
Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna make a phone call.
All right, sure. Well, I've got no problem with an expert coming in. I know the painting's real and try to get as much as I can for it.
So this is it. I know Benton Clark was an illustrator, but what I remember in my head is cowboy stuff.
Right. Benton Henderson Clark was a very accomplished artist, but was never a very famous artist.
Okay.
His main body of work is Western themes. This is unusual because of the World War II, but some of his most valuable paintings have been outside of the Western theme. So what would you like to know?
Well, first off, I mean, is it actually a legitimate painting by the artist? And there's a little bit of damage to it. He wants $5 grand for it. I have no idea if it's worth that kind of money.
The stretchers on the back, the canvas is right. His signature looks right. The style down here is very much his style. I think it's definitely a legitimate painting. But my concerns with this painting is you do have some light cracking. This one doesn't feel quite as finished out as some of them that I've seen. Like, this is highly articulated, but when you come over here to the palm trees, it feels like he's kind of quit in the airplanes. So this is nice, but it's not one of his best works.
Okay. So what do you think it's worth?
It's tough. I would say auction, maybe 1,800. Retail, maybe 2,500, 3,000.
Okay. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Good luck. Nice to meet you.
Sure, thank you.
Well, 5,000 is not going to happen. It's art, so it usually hangs out a while. Very few people in the world know who this guy is. And I'd give you like $1,000 for it.
I don't think I'd let it part for that. You gotta twist my arm.
I mean, I'll twist your arm at $1,100. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to sell this painting, okay? It's a very limited market. There's damage to it. I have to get it framed. And it could quite possibly sit there for a while. I don't know. I mean,
Honestly, I don't think so. There's a big market for World War II items. Anytime a good movie comes out, then boom, there you go.
movies don't necessarily make things sell. It's
Just
it's a
everybody
lot of
wants
money. It's
a piece of history. It's a one-of-a-kind item.
If you take away all the emotion and it comes down to dollars and cents, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, how about 2 G's on it?
Okay, I'll go $1,200.
Make it 15 and you got a deal.
I'll go $1,300.
How about 13.50?
I'll go $1,300.
All right.
Sweet. Okay. All right.
Well, you twisted my arm.
Okay. I'll meet you right over there.
Okay.
I didn't think you would take it. Cool.
The negotiation was a battle, but I think we're both happy with the outcome.
What do we got? I've got a letter from Coach Newt Rockne, former Notre Dame athletic director.
Win one for the Gipper, right?
You bet.
That was a time where you had professional college athletes, that guys that were paid by Notre Dame just to play football.
Wasn't like college football today. Well, sort of maybe like college football today.
Yeah. I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my letter that was signed by the most famous Notre Dame football coach, Knute Rockne. I've had it appraised at $5,000. I'd be willing to go $4,000, maybe $3,500 to get it sold.
Where did you get this thing?
Well, my grandfather, he's who the letter was addressed to. He had a project in elementary school to write to a famous person, try to get a response. And this is the response that he got.
Knute Rockne, he's the football coach that, football coaches look up to. I mean, God, this is the guy that made the forward pass in football popular. He had 5 undefeated seasons without even a tie. I mean, the win one for the Gipper speech is still being talked about today.
Well, he's part of the reason football is football today. He made it extremely popular. Knute Rockne is one of the greatest coaches ever. His strategies and tactics changed the way football was played and made it a national obsession.
A couple things I think are interesting about the letter. Talks about the effects of tobacco on athletes.
So your grandfather wrote a letter to Knute Rockne about athletes and cigarette smoking.
That's right. I don't think the science was really out there as far as what kind of effect it had on athletes.
Dear Edward, it has been my experience that tobacco slows up the reflexes of athletes and does nothing constructive. Any advertisement to the effect that smoking cigarettes helps an athlete is a falsehood. Yours truly, Knute Rockne. Yeah, I mean, everyone knew cigarettes were bad for you.
Yeah, duh.
Even back then. But remember, you had really powerful interests who did not want that in the newspapers or on the radio at the time.
The other thing I think is really interesting, if you'll note the date on there, it's March 13, 1931. So 18 days after the date of this letter, he died. So this has to be one of the last things Coach Rockne ever signed.
I mean, my big concern is whether or not he actually signed it. I mean, it was real common back in the day. People who were famous, they would get all these letters in from people, everyone wanting autographs, and they generally assign somebody to sign everything for them. Let me get my guy down here just to make sure this is an authentic signature of Knute Rockne. Because if it's signed by a secretary, I don't want it at all.
That sounds great.
All right, I'll be right back.
Thanks. I know it's real. I don't have any doubt that it's real, but it'll be nice to receive some verification of that and get somebody else's expert opinion as to what it's worth as well.
Drew!
What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing, buddy?
All right, good to see you guys. I'm a forensic document examiner, and I love my job. Every day, it's a whole new whodunit. Knute Rockne, you were telling me, right?
Yeah.
The legend.
Well, at least I'm thinking it might be him.
You're hoping it's good, right? Okay. What a fascinating life this guy had. He was like pretty much one of the founding fathers of college football. I know that he's only lost like 12 football games in his entire career. I mean, that's unbelievable. I don't see too many of these, so if this thing is authentic, it's going to be worth some money. In the 1930s, actually, college football was the biggest thing there was. Knute Rockne was at the top of his peak, so it's very possible this could be a secretarial, so we're going to have to take a really close look at it to make sure. Now, it is dated March 13th, 1931, so this was right before he died. Appears to be University of Notre Dame letterhead. Does appear to be written with a fountain pen, which is good because ballpoint pens didn't come out until like the mid-40s. So if this was written on ballpoint pen, we know it's bogus,
Yeah.
right? So he tends to write a very distinctive capital R, and there's a type of buckle to the K. Well, if we just take the evidence of the signature itself and, of course, all the other totality of the document, it's dead on. This thing is definitely real.
Great. All right.
Excellent.
So what do you think it's worth?
Now, it is interesting that he is talking about cigarette smoking, and this is years and years and years before the Surgeon General said it was bad for you, so it would be worth more if it was a handwritten letter, okay? I would say retail-wise, $3,000 to $5,000 for a super-duper Notre Dame fan. They'll pay top dollar for something like this.
Excellent, excellent.
You're the best.
Thank you. Take care.
Now that I know the signature is really Knute Rockne's, I really want this thing. College football collectors would go crazy for anything related to him. All right, so how much you looking to get out of it?
I probably want $5,000 for it.
To get that kind of money, you're gonna need to open up a store in Indiana. You have to be realistic. I have to make money off this thing. I'll give you $1,500.
I can imagine a lot of Notre Dame fans come through your store. You know, I think I can go as low as $4,000.
I liked what's in the text. I like that he signed it. It's Knute Rockne, but I gotta take it out of this frame right here because, quite frankly, your frame sucks. Your picture of Knute Rockne sucks. You know, it sits around for a while. If you want $2,000, I'll give you $2,000.
I'm probably looking to get more out of it than that because of the date on it. And I could see going as low as maybe $3,500. I think that's my bottom dollar.
I mean, if I put it on my shelf, I'd take the first $3,000 offer that came along.
$2,000 would be it. It really would.
I don't think I'm gonna get to 2,000. I think it's worth more than 2,000 bucks.
Well, it looks like it's not gonna happen. Okay?
I appreciate you guys.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks.
It sucks we couldn't make a deal. Newt Rockne is a college football legend, and I would have loved to have this item in my store.
What can I help you with?
I got a 73 Wurlitzer jukebox.
Meet me in the
have it-
back.
Okay.
Last time this guy was in the shop, he sold us an awesome 1932 Lincoln Roadster. He obviously has a taste for the finer things in life because Wurlitzer made an awesome jukebox. It's an old Wurlitzer, huh?
1973 Wurlitzer, the last one to come out.
Can you download from the internet? Does it have a slot for CDs?
See, no, this is from 73. I came down here to the pawn shop to sell my Wurlitzer jukebox. I got it from a friend of mine. I want to sell it because I need more room for stuff. I got to have more stuff.
Plays 45s, right?
Yeah.
You know, these things were great money makers for bars back when. I mean, before this, the only other alternative really was live music.
Yeah.
Their name is so synonymous with jukeboxes. I mean, people stopped calling them jukeboxes and started calling them Wurlitzers.
Yeah.
Wurlitzer made all kinds of musical instruments, but it was their jukeboxes that really put them on the map. They first started making them in the 1930s, and they were just the best. Okay, so one of the big things you always want to check for is yellowing and stuff, because most of them spent 30, 40 years inside of a smoke-filled bar. But I don't see any real damage. Can we plug it in and see if it works?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Well, there it goes, huh?
I guess it works.
What do I do? Just press
Yeah,
like A1?
that's it. This is that music. Can you feel that?
Sounds
Yeah.
great. It
Yeah.
sounds like a, old jukebox should. This thing is in great condition, and Wurlitzers are huge collector's items. Some of them from the 40s are practically priceless. What are you looking to get out of it?
I'm trying to get out of 4,500.
I've never seen or had one in the store that's this new. It's the older ones that I know are worth a lot of money. So, let me give a buddy of mine a call. He can tell me if people are collecting these 70s versions of Wurlitzers.
Okay.
All right, let me give him a call.
Yeah,
real quick.
okay, fine.
With my dad away, it would be pretty easy just to take a gamble on this thing. But I'm smarter than my dad thinks I am, so I'm gonna make sure before I buy anything.
All right, how are you?
Doing well.
Hey, chum.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, look at this. Wurlitzer 1050. I specialize in antique gaming machines, jukeboxes, and other unique stuff. The Wurlitzer Jukebox Company was the premier jukebox company in the United States up until the end of the Second World War. This 1050 was made in 1973. They made 1,600 of
That's
these
right, that's
models, which was really a small run, and it really bombed. It was the last gasp of the Wurlitzer company before they sold the rights to a company in Germany.
Yeah.
But their stuff was really great looking, and it's the name associated with jukeboxes.
I know the original ones in the 40s, 50s, this was actually metal, this was actually wood, this is plastic right here.
Everything was going to plastic and fake chrome, but that doesn't hurt the collectability of this box.
Okay, good. You wanna open it up and take a look inside?
Sure. It's a very clean box, and it even comes with a repair manual, which is great if it ever breaks down. This plays 50, 45, so it has 100 selections. The condition looks almost excellent.
All right, well, that's good to know.
What'd I tell you?
In my experience, I've seen a number of these, and this is one of the nicest ones I've ever seen.
So, what are they going for these days? What do you think it's worth?
This model is a very collectible model because they made so few of them, and if you get a good example, like this one, it does command a good price. I would estimate the value on this based on the condition that it's in from $3,500 to $4,500, and this might be close to the top end of that range. This is a very well-preserved example of this jukebox. This would be one to have.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll bring it down to 4,000.
You'll bring it down to 4,000. Oh, you're doing me such a big favor there, aren't you?
I am.
Well, here's what I'll do. I'll offer you $2,000.
Wow, that's too low, too low.
The fact that this thing's gonna sit in my shop and take up all this real estate, have you seen how full my floor is out there?
How many of these do you have out there?
You got me. I got none.
I'm gonna offer you one more chance. 3,200, and that's final. And we're still friends for a while.
Well, I'll give you 2,700 and we don't have to be friends.
No, I'd rather have a 32. Could you come up a little more?
Meet me at $3,000.
$3,000. Okay?
3,000, sound good?
3,000 the deal. Okay.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
This guy's definitely no slouch when it comes to negotiating. But I'm glad we finally got there because it's an awesome piece and we're definitely gonna make some money on it.
Hey, boss, come check this old fighter plane out. It's for sale.
What you got, Chumley?
Check it out. A T6G. Pretty cool. We should go check this out.
Yeah, I like that, Chumley.
No, you're not going to check out anything because last time you went and checked out a plane, you guys were gone all day long and no work got done.
So, Rick sometimes confuses having a big head with being the head honcho, which is me.
This one's for sale, Rick. I think it's a good deal. Check it out.
I might buy it.
If anybody's going to spend that kind of money, it's going to be me, not you guys. You know what? Does look interesting.
It does look pretty cool.
I think you and I should go check it out. Let's go.
Whatever you and the old man gonna do?
Work?
That ain't fair.
But you don't think we can have fun without you?
Why me, Lord?
Wow.
This is cool.
So this is it?
This is our 1942 North American AT-6 Texan. You guys interested in buying this airplane?
Both of us been talking about getting our pilot's license, and
I bet I could do a pretty good job of crashing this thing.
The guys came down from the pawn shop to look at my AT-6 Texan. The reason I want to sell this airplane is my wife and I would like to build a house. I'm asking $185,000 for this airplane. It's absolutely worth every penny of it.
so it's a 1942.
It flew in World War II and the Korean War.
This one did?
Yeah, it did.
So did it ever get shot?
No, but it actually was a gunnery trainer. They actually had a gun mounted right here, and the pilots could actually fire the guns. So in World War II, this was the airplane the government used to train all our pilots. The Tuskegee Airmen all flew this airplane down in Alabama. So it's a very famous airplane.
Dominating the skies is one of the things that has made the United States military the strongest force for over 100 years. It's pretty badass. This plane was used to train the best pilots in the world.
It has a newly overhauled engine.
Looks like a bunch of Harley motors put together.
It does, and this thing actually sounds like 9 Harleys all running. It's a 9-cylinder, 650 horsepower.
So how fast is it?
Oh, this airplane will cruise at 200 miles an hour, and the structure inside is a roll cage. So if they ever flipped it by accident on the ground, it would protect you.
Can we look at the cockpit?
I actually can't wait to see what it's like behind the controls of this thing. It's bigger than I thought it'd be inside here.
There you go.
The person getting trained would be in the back or the front?
The instructor would be in the back seat. It's fully dual controlled, so there's a throttle, stick, and all the flight instruments are also in the back of the airplane as well as the front.
So you could actually give me flight lessons in this thing, huh?
That's what it was built for. Now, go ahead and place your feet on the rudder pedals there. Attaboy. And that steers the tail wheel that's on the ground.
So what's this trigger for right here?
You just shot the guns. Those 30 cals were blazing.
I mean, it would definitely be cool to be flying this thing in World War II shooting Nazis. I think I like the way I look at this thing. And who knows, it might actually make a great trainer for me and my dad. So how much do you want for it, my man?
$185,000.
I got a buddy who's a Navy fighter pilot. You mind if I have him come down and take a look at it?
You know, if you think he's qualified, I think that's good enough. Let's bring it on. I have no question about the caliber of this airplane. I'm ready for this.
This is my buddy Matt.
I'm a Marine Corps F-18 pilot with 18 years of experience, a graduate of the Naval Fighter Weapons School, Top Gun, and former U.S. Navy Blue Angel pilot. So, Rick, you really want to try and buy this airplane?
I want to get an airplane. I'm just trying to figure out the right one.
Well, the Texan's an awesome plane. It basically was the workhorse to train all the cadets in World War II. This aircraft was great for training not only our fighter pilots, but also our bomber pilots, the B-17, the B-24 pilots. During World War II, we dominated the skies, whether that's Europe or over in the Pacific region. This aircraft helped train those pilots to get to that final step to where they flew that P-51 or that F-4. So after this, it's ready for combat and, you know, potentially going in harm's way. You guys have any concerns?
How well does it fly? Would it be good for me?
Well, you know, it's a great trainer plane.
I know, but you're trying to sell it to me?
It is, but that tail wheel right there makes it a little difficult.
So is it harder to land in a one with the tail wheel?
You got it. Landing a tail dragger, that airplane can swap ends pretty quickly. Where it doesn't have the tricycle gear, where you have a nose gear and 2 tail gear, you actually have it in the back. It's a little unstable with that. Landing a tail dragger is kind of like going from learning to ride your bike, where you have training wheels on it, and then all of a sudden you take those training wheels off.
Basically, we have like no aviation skills. We're about to start school, so.
You might have to start off on something a little less powerful and a little easier to fly.
I thought we could learn to fly this thing, but clearly that's not a good idea. But I still love this plane, so if I can get it for a good price, I can resell it and make a profit.
Before I can give you a price range on this aircraft, we need to do a visual inspection.
Do your stuff.
You bet. How many hours do you have on your engine?
You know, it only has about 20 hours since the engine has been completely overhauled.
The engine's on here, 1,600 hours. And as you get closer to that mark, you need to overhaul, and that is a big ticket item. So that's actually a plus. On the front, he's gonna have a spinner. Not all Texans have a spinner. It adds about $5,000 in value.
Just for that little cap on the front?
Just for here, the spinner on here.
Protects it from elements, dirt, rust, and things like that.
That's why airplanes are so damn weird, because it just doesn't look like it would cost $5,000.
Yeah.
Come on up, have a seat.
He's got a clean cockpit setup. This aircraft is fairly basic to fly. Landing and takeoff is a little hard with the tail wheel, but literally with the stick, it's up, down, left, right to maneuver the aircraft. You've got a pretty easy throttle. So the last thing to do here is to take this airplane flying. Dennis and I should go airborne.
Yeah, let's take her up.
All right, let's do it.
Do your stuff.
I'm super excited to fly this aircraft. I spent most of my time in jets, and this will be really kind of a throwback. It'll be fun to fly this. Clear. I've inspected the exterior and the interior of the plane. We've looked at the logbooks, so I'm really excited to fly the aircraft.
I wonder what it's like to just hop in any plane you see and be able to fly it.
I don't know, but I think it would be pretty cool.
Okay, you ready to go? Okay. Here we go, man. Now just stick kind of neutral like that. Steer it with your rudder.
I thought the aircraft performed very well on takeoff.
Okay, about 45 degrees. Look out, turn it around.
We did a bunch of aerobatics. We did a couple loops. Barrel rolls.
Oh my God.
Maybe one day I'll be able to fly it.
Aircraft flew pretty awesome.
So now, we want to keep the nose straight. Here it comes. Right, there it is.
And put this little braking action.
Apparently it works. So how was it?
Awesome. We had a blast. Good aircraft. Dennis, you've done a nice job restoring that. Oh. It's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
All right, so what do you think it's worth?
Right now, current market, what we're looking at, you know, I think it's fair value. It's about $170,000 on the spot.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair estimate.
So what does it cost to own one of these things?
First thing is you need to hangar it. That's about $300 a month. Then this aircraft needs to fly. It needs to get lubricated, oil through the systems, fuel, everything's about $275 an hour to fly it.
Seems like this thing's gonna cost me $1,000 a month just to own until I can sell it.
Yeah, that's a safe number.
All right, well, thanks, Matt.
Okay, you bet. Great to see you.
Matt, you're the man, dude.
Okay, see you.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Nice job, Dennis.
So what is your bottom dollar?
I'd look at something around $165,000.
Oh. You know, we sort of came out here on a whim. So on a whim, I'll give you 140 grand.
Yeah, it's getting warm.
I mean, if I buy it off, it's gonna sit around for a while. It's gonna cost me money to own it till I resell it or figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with it.
Well, you know, it's a vintage and a classic airplane. There's so much heritage with this, and it appreciates in value.
It's definitely something I'm interested in.
You know, would a 157 kind of warm it up a little bit for you?
No, it wouldn't. I mean, I'd go like 140 on it if you take it.
You gave me 150, we'd probably have a deal today. Yeah.
As a businessman, I will go 140.
You know, if you come up just a little bit, at 145, we'd be shaking hands.
I'll tell you what, my man. I'm gonna go back and do a little bit more research. If I think we can pay you 145 for it, I'll give you a call and we'll do it. But right now, I'm gonna hold you at 140.
Boy, we were really close, so why don't we just think about that a little bit, and maybe there'll be a phone ringing between here and Vegas.
Have a good one, man.
All right, thanks a lot, guys, for coming out. I'm shocked that they didn't take the offer.
I'm bummed we got that close and couldn't make a deal. But I'm glad it was me and Corey that got to check out the plane. If we had sent Chum and the old man, they would have wasted the whole day playing around.
Go to work, Chummy.